So, this is the point in time in the game.
Do you want to stop?
Where...
Oh look,
No.
Desmond doesn't believe it either. He's gonna stop and say bullshit. He's gonna call bullshit on this whole thing. This is stupid. You guys are trolling me.
So this is the point in the game where you would normally get.
Oh dear.
Oh, here's our annoying British friend who finally realizes that Rodrigo Borgia becomes the Pope.
Want to share with the rest of us?
Thank you for
Rodrigo Borgia is elected Pope
now
in
telling us
1492,
this.
which means Ezio's greatest enemy is now also the most
this is the
powerful
point
man
where,
in Italy.
on the console version, or version that you don't have any
Always wanted to visit
DLC,
the
basically
Vatican.
anything but the PLC or the PC
Well, you're like
version
Sindes,
by
when
default,
Happy days. That's exactly where you're going.
they're gonna say, "Oh, there's some sequences here, but they're damaged. We can't repair them." So let's just skip to the end game. Note that this was actually a plot point in the first game where you couldn't just skip way ahead of the memories to where you wanted to go. You had to play out a bunch of other memories so you could sync up with the character.
You mean the sun, not the earth?
And we're in the Battle of Forlì DLC right now. Now we're gonna skip both this DLC and the next one. I hadn't played this until earlier today, and the Battle of Forlì DLC is pretty cool. It fills out the one missing area in the whole game, the Romagna. But then you follow with the burning of the vanities, which is probably the worst thing I have ever seen that has had Assassin's Creed attached to it.
Into the wrong hands. It would drive weaker minds insane.
You talk to Machiavelli for 2 minutes, and then you run around Florence killing a bunch of people in "you must not be detected" sequences when they're surrounded by millions of guards. It's the worst thing ever.
And our ally controls it. Who is this ally? Her name is Catarina.
So this
I hate.
Don't say.
we're gonna skip here shortly after the end of this cutscene. We're gonna skip ahead to the end game because I don't think anyone can take doing this. But this would be the DLC that fleshes out Catarina and makes her an important character. In this DLC, the Battle of Forlì, Forlì gets attacked by the Orsi brothers, who take some of Catarina's children hostage, and you have to go and save them. And that's basically the gist of the DLC. And the reason they're after it is because, and this is really the only reason that this DLC is actually important for this game, is because Catarina has some kind of map that shows the location of all the codex pages, which doesn't make a whole bloody lot of sense, because they're hidden in like banks, in like just like open buildings throughout Italy, which would seem to suggest that, you know, the map would become inaccurate if anyone moved one of them.
I was just about to say nobody moved chests. Hey, there's this weird chest behind my farmhouse, and you know, it's kind of in the way. Maybe I'll throw it out, or open it, or sell it to somebody, or move it to the other side of my property. No.
Yeah.
No, it could just sit there for hundreds of years.
Just becomes a.
So now we're gonna skip ahead to sequence 14.
So we're all done with that DLC.
A terrible DLC. Normally I would complain. Like, I was mad when I first played the console version, and I saw, what the hell? Oh, this is the end of the Bonfires DLC, and weird shit is happening.
Oh, jeez. Why did they just... What? What?
I don't know. Normally I'd be, like, I would be really pissed that Ubisoft would do that. They would set the game up so there's 14 sequences, and then at the end, you know, cut the 2 sequences leading up to the end and sell them as DLC later. But I can give them a pass, because the Bonfire of the Vanities DLC, if that had been part of the main game, I would have quit and never finished this game. So I'm glad they did not put that in the normal game, and I am upset that I had to play it and had to do that just to get to this point.
You guys have no idea. When we were getting ready to record today, it was about 2 hours of just bitching about it. While Mumbles, Rotsgarn, and I played Skyrim.
In case I end up in a sword fight again, check this out. Now that we're at the end of the game, we can buy the Sword of Altair from the blacksmith in Monteriggioni. Why? I don't know.
What?
He just has it.
What if he just has the
endgame
blueprints for
sword
it and he's recreating it?
Yeah, it's just no. It's a replica sword. It's like, oh yeah, I've got like a dozen swords of Altair there in the back. They're
like
crap.
tourist ones.
I sell them. Yeah, he sells them to tourists, and you're like, oh, the ultimate sword of my ancestor.
And you see like a kid running around with it too. And you're like,
yes, it's not even sharp.
It's the codex.
So this is the annoying, the most annoying shit in this game is you get to the end of the game, you do all the sequences, and you're like, okay, finally, I'm gonna see the end game, I'm gonna see what happens, what the heck is going on with this apple thing, and you get there, and it's like, oh wait, you can't access the last sequence memories until you get all of the codex pages, which until this point were not painted as anything other than optional collection quests.
Like the feathers.
Like the feathers. So now we've got a map. We've got that map that Katarina gave us at the end of the Battle of Forlì DLC, which we skipped. And we
like,
can.
If I were to sell you a map,
we
of
know
all the stuff that's
where
lost.
all of them are. We can have them on our map now. So that's what we're gonna do. Of course, we're not actually gonna show that to you because that'd be ridiculous. Nobody wants to see that. So, prepare for the fastest codex gathering sequence ever.
Rah rah, Rasputin, lover of the Russian queen. There was a cat
That guy was a Templar,
really was gone. Oh, seriously? Never mind. This game is
Yeah.
Okay, so can we list everybody who was not a Templar? Like, let's say
Joan of Arc probably wasn't. Maybe.
Colin Farrell. Cheese in the rock.
like Edison's assistant, was he a Templar?
What about Brigham Young?
Edison was a Templar.
I'm sure that wouldn't piss
Yeah,
anybody
okay.
off.
So I'm gonna
Young
spoil
was a
something
Templar.
here for you.
Gilbert Godfrey.
So according to the canon of this game, Edison was a Templar, and he gave a piece of Eden to Hitler so he could start World War II. Or no, maybe it wasn't Edison, maybe it was Ford. Henry Ford was also a
Ford?
Templar.
I believe that,
Yeah.
dude. I
Yeah.
totally believe that. Ford tried to start his own society in the Amazon, but it completely fucked up. It was awesome.
Still, we appreciate that assembly line thing he did. That was cool. It was just the everything else that he needed to work on.
Let's see. Tesla was not a Templar. Tesla was, I think he was an innocent bystander who invented the internet, and the Templars were like, nope,
Oh,
not fucking happening.
it's not funny.
I have this, this in my imagination. Tesla's trying to connect two cables together, and one of them just like walks in out of nowhere and like slaps it out of his hand, like denied. And Tesla just like looks at him flustered as he walks away, and like Tesla just walks away from the table with his head down. Oliver Cromwell, he's a Templar. Richard Nixon, totally a Templar.
Marilyn Monroe.
Totally.
I was thinking Marilyn Monroe was probably an assassin.
Yeah.
Buddy Holly.
She's the
was a
one who killed
Templar,
JFK.
And the plane was an auditorium.
Kennedys were Templars. Kennedys were Templars, and Marilyn Monroe was an assassin. That'd be totally rad.
And she killed JFK.
Yeah, and Bobby Kennedy.
Ezio Auditore. Templar.
Are you kidding? He was a freelance jackass. He was never in the fight officially. He just sort of fumbled into it and staggered around and stabbed people until people said to stop. Until Uncle Mario gave him a sense of direction.
So, okay, check this out. Jimmy Wales is a Templar, but Brandon Harris is an assassin.
Who are those two guys?
Jimmy Wales is the Wikipedia founder guy.
Yeah.
And he's like, personal appeal from Jimmy Wales. And Brandon Harris is the guy who's currently like on the header for Wikipedia.
I hate those things. They always pop up like 5 seconds after the page loads and fuck up my clicking.
I was gonna say the guy who plays the vampire in the Twilight movies is a Templar, but the guy who plays the werewolf is an assassin.
Seamus,
Wait,
really
do you want the
gotta stop
actors
bringing
or
up
do you want the?
Twilight.
Okay, do you want the
Yeah,
actors
creepy.
or the character name?
I don't know. I've got to stop doing what, Mumbles?
You gotta stop bringing up Twilight. It's getting creepy.
Reading Twilight? Yeah, Seamus, stop reading Twilight.
He
man.
every fucking time we're in bed, he brings up Twilight. I swear to God.
And that is odd, although I brought it up today because I just watched the Movie Bob review of the latest movie. So I had it in my brain. So that's where that came from.
Excuses.
And not you reading
Plus,
books.
and not me reading the books.
Pope Alexander VI, Templar.
Nah.
What? What?
No.
Makes sense.
No,
Totally
that's
an
not, no, it
assassin.
doesn't.
Makes sense
Yeah.
to me. I don't know.
Catholic.
He was a pope. He'd be a holy guy. He'd be a good guy. There's a lot of love in this game. That was
Game is for
great.
lovers, not for fighters.
Venice is the
That
most
show sucks
romantic
at
city in the
fighting.
world. Or so says anyone from Venice.
Yeah, so says Venetians.
The Venetian Tourist Board.
Are you being paid off by the Venetian Tourist Board to
Man, I can't
talk
even,
about how
I can't
awesome
even keep
Venice
track
is?
anymore of who is and is not paying me money to say things on spoiler warning.
Well, I'm
There's
glad
only
we
one
managed to
group
attract
I
a great deal
know
of
is-
underground advertisement.
I tried to
No,
plan to
bro,
not
it's okay.
say things on spoiler warning. Did not work as planned.
Is that did you get like, were you trying to scoop up contracts from the anti-boobs crowd and now you're just like trying to piss them off?
Well, I just don't understand why people won't take my endorsements of boobs. I don't know, it's gotta be Red Scar's endorsements.
Well, to be fair, my endorsement of boobs is pretty solid.
So is mine! I like boobs. I like looking on them. I don't like touching them though. So that's where you come in.
Yes, that is definitely
That's a
where
very
I come in.
specific like of boobs.
That is that is precisely my function in society, I think. You know, the last couple years I've been thinking about switching my major because one thing I really don't do a lot of is writing boring ass essays and nerdy ass fiction pieces. And one thing that I have just been tripping over is boob. I have been hemorrhaging gazongas.
Just every time you turn it, you can't get anything done because your hands are always full of boob.
Lady, stop! I need to get this paper done. Stop making me touch your boob.
It's like my hands at this point, my hands are tied. I might as well just switch majors. I've already got the credits to graduate under tits.
My
I'd be
friends.
teaching that class.
This is what
I think I
happens
can-
when spoiler warning picks the wrong game.
I think I'm on lock for the TNA TA position.
You have beautiful breasts, but Rutsguard must touch them.
What grade do you give my breasts? I'm thinking D.
Ah.
Oh. Go away.
Just watch. Someday we're gonna play like some really horrible game that you see like people getting pissed at that comes from Japan, where it's just nothing but breast. And we're not gonna be talking about anything but Florentian history.
Last codex page. Fuck
Oh my
you,
goodness.
Ubisoft, once again.
Please promise me that that whole conversation is going in.
Oh yes.
Yay.
You found
Okay, let's
So
get serious.
now that Leonardo is hanging out in our villa, I guess, because we have the money to pay him to just stick around and do nothing.
there.
Well, he didn't really accomplish much in his life, so he probably had a lot of free time.
Well, we give him all of his ideas, right? That's what we do. So here's all the assassins. They've been waiting here the whole time that we've been. Yeah, hello.
We're just sitting here all this time. They've been talking about that one time that they all got in a fight and then didn't do anything.
Oops, shit. What is it?
Just waiting for you to walk in and dump all the pieces at once. Is this like a puzzle?
That's how you do it.
Is this like
Yeah.
a sliding puzzle?
No.
Are you
it's-
kidding? Oh.
It's just a rotating puzzle. I'm waiting for someone to call it on what this is.
It's a horse.
Boobs.
Your mom. It's your mom's boobs.
It's the map of the world. It's a map of the world. It's a map of the world.
You win. Rutskarn wins the
Mumbles-
prize.
Mumbles
And
already
keep in mind
got
that I'm
it.
like 30 seconds behind the
Uh-huh.
stream right now.
So of course I think they have lines in here like this map, it doesn't make sense. Continents we've never seen before, but this is like 1501, so Columbus has already been to the New World.
Well,
They're talking about... Yeah, I got nothing.
Ezio!
It is time, Uncle. Let us finish what you and my father started.
that
all
was a
those
lot
years
of
ago.
time you wasted
Indeed.
getting us a stupid
Perhaps now
map
we
that does
can
us no
finally
good.
make sense of this prophecy and put a stop to whatever it is the Spaniard is plotting.
We should start by locating the vault.
I'm waiting for them to
Codex
get into like
pages will lead us to
it's
it.
just this bitching
take a look.
world map
Oh, so
convention argument. It's gonna be XKCD as hell.
Which projection is this map using?
Ezio just stabs him right in the gizzard.
Yes. Oh, and wait a minute. Did Uncle Mario mess it up after we got finished with it? It
no.
scrambled again. Oh wow! It took us so long to figure out that puzzle. We grew a beard while we were doing it.
No, we actually grew a
entire
beard
world.
in the interim
There are
between
lines
sequence
showing
11
that
and
do not
14.
exist.
Apparently they do exist. I imagine
they're yet to be discovered, except Columbus kind of already did that.
Possible.
You know, like 8 years ago.
Will hold the answer.
Do you see where it is?
Did he
then?
not get back to
Well, I mean,
the
okay,
old
but
world
like,
for, like,
they
8
didn't really
years?
know and
Looks
like
the
and
vault is
stuff.
open.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's
They
not
knew
like it was on
wasn't
TV.
India.
This is why he became Pope.
Now I understand.
Yeah, but Columbus was
It's not the
Italian, and
vault
Italy
alone
was
which
kind of the
gave
center of
access
the
to
world
it,
at the
but
moment.
staff as well.
What stuff?
The Codex always spoke of 2 keys.
Even though he was
Turns
funded
out
by
Columbus didn't
Portugal.
actually discover in this continuity.
One.
Columbus didn't actually discover jack shit. It was just Ezio looking at
Check
the
it
map.
out.
The papal staff.
The
is
papal
second
staff
piece of
is a
Eden.
piece of Eden.
For years, no, decades, we've sought
The
the
papal
That
staff.
actually
The
makes
The
a lot
staff
of
must
sense.
go back.
But so
The
too
staff
the
must go
Spaniard.
back to the
And
papal.
if he does, if he finds a way into the vault, its
Oh, that
contents
was
will make
good.
the apple
That's
seem
pretty
attractive
good.
thing.
That's pretty
Must
good.
go to Rome
So
and
basically,
find
the whole
vault.
prophecy is
What
that
are
a
the
prophet
rest
will
of you?
show up in
We'll
the
do
city
what
that
we do
floats,
best. Cause some
um,
trouble in the
where
city.
2 pieces of
Giving
Eden
you the
are,
freedom to
and
conduct
he
research.
will go and open the vault.
Just let me know when you are ready, Nipote.
Supposedly we're the prophet. So we're gonna go to, not the city that floats, that's where we found out that we were the prophet, but to Rome. And we're going to punch the Pope and take his stuff and open the vault.
Yep,
Roma
you were
beckons
waiting
at
for
you.
it. Here it comes.
Let me know when you are ready
We
to
fight the
depart.
Pope.